Hey, John Van here, and I've got a special guest today. This is Sevi, the Greek goddess foodie.
Hey.
And today she's going to be helping us out with cooking us up an awesome recipe where she's going to be making mushroom crab cakes. Good stuff. And she's going to be using some comb-toothed mushroom that I found a few weeks ago. I actually made another video about it, finding it, some of my top 3 mushrooms. You can check that video out in the link. But anyway, it's a close relative to a mushroom that I grow a lot, the lion's mane mushroom. They're actually in the same genus, Ericium. But it's a really delicious mushroom. It really takes on a flavor just like crab meat, and the texture of it actually looks a lot like crab meat as well. So it's a really good meat substitute, and today Sevi is going to be making some really good crab cakes out of these. So stay tuned, check them out, we'll get right into it. First, I'll go to the ingredients for you. Okay, so I will leave all of these items in the description to make it easier for you to reference when you go to try to do this yourself. But for this recipe, you're going to need half a pound, or however much you have, of fresh comb-toothed mushrooms, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of mayo, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, 1 cup of breadcrumbs, 1/4 of an onion, 1 egg, parsley, green onion, 1 teaspoon of paprika, lemon juice, salt, and pepper. Again, I'll leave these ingredients in the description for you. So now I'm going to turn it back over to Greek Goddess Foodie to do the actual cooking part for you, but I'll join you at the end for the part I do best, the eating. Here we go, folks.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is wash our mushrooms. So what I have here is a bowl full of water. And we're not going to do too much of it, we're just going to swish it. So I'm going to take each piece, kind of swish it around in the water. I don't know if you can see. And all it's going to do is just do it really quickly. We don't want it to absorb too much. Let's get as much dirt as we can out. Then I'm going to put it on my absorbent pad over here. But you can use some paper towel. So just kind of swish it. As you can see, it's getting particles out. Okay. Alright, so next step is we are going to saute our mushrooms. So I'm going to pour about 2 tablespoons worth of olive oil, into our pan that's already been heated up. And if you look closely in there, you can see a ripple, and that's how you know when it's nice and hot. Just put this in. That's the sound you want it to make. So right now I'm going to put it all in, because really what I'm trying to do is get it cooked, because any wild mushroom that you pick, you're going to have to cook it before you eat it. And we want to render out all of the liquid that's in it. So that'll take a few minutes. Oops. So as you can see, the water is starting to come out of the mushrooms, and that's what you want to see. You're actually going to let it go a little more until it all evaporates. But this is what we want to see. Alright, so now we're just going to chop up our onions. We're just going to do a fairly thin dice. We don't want it too thick, so that way it cooks down. Alright, so we've got our onion. Put this in my bowl. Next we're going to do the garlic. The recipe calls for 2 cloves of garlic. This is pretty big, so I'm only going to use 1. Smash it. And instead of using my knife, I'm actually going to use a microplane, or you can use a grater. It just makes it a lot easier, quicker, and you get a smaller texture. So I don't know if you can see it, that's what it's going to look like. Alright, that's it. Tap it, and cook it up. So as you can see, we've gotten all the water cooked out, and it has evaporated. Got a little bit of color on the mushrooms, so if you look at it, it actually does look like crab meat. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the heat up just slightly. I'm going to have it about medium high or so. I'm going to put a little bit more olive oil. going to put in our diced onions and garlic. Alright, so I've got a bunch of fresh parsley, actually from our garden, and I'm just going to chop this up as well. This is going to go into our mix. We'll add that to my bowl along with green onions that I've already sliced. Alright, so we have our mushrooms and our onions and our garlic all sauteed up together. You can see the onions are nice and translucent. We don't want them brown, just kind of clear. Put that into our bowl. And we're also going to put in our fresh parsley and our green onions. Sorry. We're going to put in 1 egg. These are compliments of Grow Happy Farms. Look at that color. Whisk that up. Pour that in. We're going to put in about a teaspoon of soy sauce. And we're going to put in a little bit of lemon juice. So just a half a lemon. That's really going to bring out some brightness. I do it in my hand so that way it catches all the bits. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of mayo. So that's probably about right. We can add more as we go. I'm going to mix all that up. And we're also going to put in about a cup of breadcrumbs. And your breadcrumb is going to be your binder to keep it all together. I'm using just regular seasoned breadcrumbs, but you can use panko or just plain breadcrumbs as well. And last but not least, I'm actually going to put a little bit of Creole seasoning in there, just to give it a kick. You don't want too much, so it's probably going to end up being about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. Just kind of measure it or taste as you go, so that way you don't put too much. And there's your mix. Alright, so next up is we are going to fry our crab cakes, and we're actually going to use coconut oil because of its high smoke point. That means that you can heat it to a higher temperature and it's not going to smoke on you. It's not going to burn up. So I'm just going to take a good spoonful of it and get it into our pan. Like that. Let it melt down. Alright, so our coconut oil is heated up. I'm going to use a cookie scooper or ice cream scoop to scoop out our crab cakes because it just makes everything more uniform and it'll cook a lot easier that way. So we're just going to scoop it out, form a ball, put it in my hands, just kind of roll it out a little bit, flatten the top, and put it in. Listen to that sizzle. And I'm probably going to get about 3 or 4 of them into this pan. We don't want to crowd it or else they're just going to steam, they're not going to crisp up. And then just let them cook for about 4 or 5 minutes on each side. Just kind of monitor it. You just want it golden brown. You don't want it to burn. And then we'll flip them over. So our crab cakes have been cooking for about 3 to 4 minutes. And we're going to flip them, see how they look. Careful not to splatter yourself. Hey, they're looking pretty good. Nice golden brown. Sorry, that'll be the taste tester. Beautiful. So give these another 2 to 3 minutes so the other side crisps up as well. And then they'll be ready. Looks like our crab cakes are done. We've got them nice and golden on both sides. Show you the other side as well. We're just going to take them out. I'm going to put it on a paper towel just to soak up a little bit of the grease that we've been cooking with. Mock crab cakes. And there you have it, folks, our mushroom crab cakes. We just served it with a bed of aromatic jasmine rice, but you can serve it however you like. You can even sprinkle a little bit more lemon juice on top just to freshen it up. But hope you enjoy it.
Alright, I'm back for what I do best at these things, the eating. This is the best part of all of these videos. They look absolutely delicious, so let's give them a try here. Oh, very good, very good. And they taste just like crab cakes. I mean, it's amazing how much a mushroom can taste like meat, but these are on point, very good. I highly recommend these. It's a very easy recipe, very good. So, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much to Greek Goddess Foodie for helping out with this today. Be sure and find her on Instagram. You can learn some more about cooking and see what all she's doing as well. That's Greek Goddess Foodie. And you can check us out, Grow Happy Farms, as well. If you like this video, please be sure and subscribe. I appreciate you watching. Hope you learned something. Have a good day. Just grow happy, folks. I'm going to keep eating.